Hello everyone and welcome to a new Sega Mega Drive dev tutorial. In the last lesson we covered how to play music on your Mega Drive using the sound drivers, and in today's lesson I'm going to cover how to make your own music for the console. Actually, it might be more accurate to say I'm going to teach you how to make noise on your Mega Drive rather than music, because I'm not much of a musician at the moment, although I hope that will change in the future. However, even non-musicians like myself can still get a lot of enjoyment just playing about with things, and I think today's going to be a fun little lesson. And for those of you who really want to get into making music, proper music for the console, I will include some links in the video description where you can do some further study and really get into being a proper Mega Drive musician. Every person comes to game dev with their own different strengths and weaknesses and background too. For me personally, even though I only done a little bit of coding in Python before I started making Mega Drive games, I always felt quite confident in the programming side of things. In terms of graphics and art creation, I always liked drawing as a kid, so making games was a good excuse to get back into that. I was fortunate enough to have some next experience as Pyron to do the graphics for the Symphony of the Night game, although of course I had to do the graphics for the GG Shinobi game myself. To be honest, I should have started this last year, but I kept procrastinating as creating brand new graphics was a little bit intimidating, but now I've finally started, I'm really starting to enjoy it and I'm improving a bit every day. In between creating the tutorials, what I've been working on so far this year mostly is the pixel art side of things. So for example, I've done these mock-ups of this clock tower level from Area of Sorrow, just creating a Mega Drive version just to learn a bit more about how colours work and so on. While I'm still very new to this, if you compare the original GBA version on the right hand side to my Mega Drive version on the left, I don't think it looks too bad actually. The main reason I chose that particular section of Area of Sorrow is because Savage Regime had already done this amazing version of the clock tower music. While I think the original song was great, unfortunately the GBA sound chip for whatever reason I don't think did a very good job of playing the actual track. It sounded very kind of weak, and this version by Savage Regime is so much more vibrant, has so much more punch to it. Well, I'm just playing around with it for now, who knows, maybe I'll make it a kind of a secret level within my Symphony of the Night game. While Savage Regime is perhaps the most well-known modern day Mega Drive chiptune musician, there's actually a lot of people doing this, and in terms of when you compare to the people who know how to program for the system and know how to make art for the system, I think the musicians are probably the most numerous. There's really a lot of great talent out there already making music, and I've been fortunate enough on my own projects to have people help with the both the Symphony of the Night music as well as the GG Shinobi music. So I have Inglebard, Aliana Tenno-ko and 76KB, as well as Savage Regime. And if anyone has any recommendations of modern day chiptune artists that they really enjoyed, then feel free to leave a message in the comment section below. One of the musicians I mentioned before, Inglebard, has actually gone to the trouble of creating this tutorial series on how to make Mega Drive music. So if after today's little tutorial you're interested in making some proper music for the console, then I think that's probably the most comprehensive resource at the moment. And you will find a link to this playlist in the video description below. A program called Deathmask is currently the most popular way to use Mega Drive music. It's what Inglebard uses in his tutorials, and it's what I'm going to be using here. I'm using the paid version of Deathmask, but there is a free legacy version that you can find, and that will be able to do all the things that I'm going to cover in today's lesson. In his tutorial series, Inglebard goes into great detail about how to do things such as create your own FM instruments. However, since today is a very quick and dirty tutorial, what I'm going to do is provide you with instruments from existing songs from games that you played as a kid, just so you have something to have fun and play around with, just as in the same way that for other tutorials I use assets from existing games just to play about and have fun with and prove some concepts with. Some of you may recognise a chiptune artist by the name of Some Spoony Bard. He's probably most well known for his work on the recent remake, 32X remake of the Doom game. He provided the music for that version. A few years back he created a 3-part Deathmask tutorial series on making music for the Mega Drive, which is also well worth checking out, but interestingly in the 3rd tutorial of that series, in the video description he provided a link where you could download some FM instruments from famous arcade games, for example Capcom and Sega games. Unfortunately, as you can see here, that link has since expired, but don't worry, I downloaded it a couple of years back, so I will provide a new upload link in my video description for this video. Back in Deathmask, at the very top where the instrument section is, if you click on the folder, then we can look for some instruments to add to our file. In the download provided, you'll find these different instruments from different arcade games, so you can see all the descriptions here. Now all you gotta do is choose one you like and click on it, and it would add it to your file here. So you can see the bell from Golden Axe has been added, and if you press the plus button and then again press on the folder button, then we can add even more instruments from different games too. As well as that folder containing these instruments from different arcade games, I managed to find about 2 years ago this folder with, it seems to have pretty much every instrument from every single Mega Drive game ever created, so it's a really great resource. I'm so sorry, I can't recall right now where I downloaded this from, but I will provide a link in the video description below. This is a really good resource, so you can find some of your favourite games there. Obviously, here I'm going to look at the likes of Revenge of Shinobi and Streets of Rage, so let's go ahead and let's add a couple of instruments from the Streets of Rage games as well. And once you've selected all you needed, simply go to the keyboard and start playing them. As you're having fun with those, I think it's a good idea to go back and listen to some of your favourite Mega Drive music and see if you can pick out the instruments as you're listening to it. For me personally, one of my favourite tracks ever is the Moon Beach one from the first Streets of Rage. It not only brings back good nostalgic memories of playing the game as a kid, but ever since then as an adult, whenever I've been near a nice beach somewhere, I've always gone into the habit of putting this music on while walking down the beach in the evening, just with the waves lapping at my feet. And so I have lots of good memories from places like Bali or last year in the south of Spain, just walking down the beach listening to Moon Beach, but of course not fighting any thugs, fortunately. Of course, when it comes time to make your own original music, you're probably going to want to create new instruments for yourself, and Inglebard tutorials goes into detail on how to do that, but it's good to have these as examples, just as inspiration, and just to play about with as you're finding your feet. If you go on YouTube, you'll find plenty of tutorials for lots of different songs that you can learn to play. So just search for, the title of the song, then easy tutorial or easy piano tutorial, and you'll find this, and you can use this as a basis just to make a basic version of some of your favorite songs as practice. If you're the type of person who feels they learn more by looking at the examples of others, then you should check out this YouTube channel of Stu Bubsby. Not only have they recreated a number of classic Mega Drive tunes in Deathmask, but I've also provided a download link where you can download the Deathmask file and take a look at how they did it yourself. Okay, so that's it from me in terms of making music on the Mega Drive. As I said before, this will be just a quick and easy tutorial just to make some noise on your Mega Drive and have some fun with it, so I hope you enjoyed it. If you want to have a much more detailed way of making music and learn how to do it properly, then as I said before, check out Inglebard's tutorial series, as well as the other resources that I've pointed out in today's lesson. Okay, so that's it for this tutorial. Thanks so much for watching. If you're interested in this kind of content, then don't forget to subscribe to the channel.
I'm interested in this.
And if you wish to support the channel further and want to get extra things, for example the code for each lesson, then I have a Patreon and any support is much appreciated.
You won't go unrewarded.
Until next time,
farewell.